All right, we'll crack on because I know you're pushed for time here. Carl, how did you see this fight between Dylan White and Joseph Parker?
First of all, it's a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think that Joseph Parker just edges the experience over the distance for me, over the championship rounds and world title experience. Just for me, makes him a slight favourite. But don't underestimate Dylan White because he's hungry, he's fit, he's strong, he's punching hard. So you never know, he could catch him. But if you're a betting man, then the smart money's got to be on Parker to win on points. But it's boxing, you know, there's two of them in there and anything can happen. And like I said, White can bang. If he catches Parker, I think it's down to what Parker's got left. He had a bit of a stinker fight against Hughie Fury, then he got outclassed by AJ. So it's whether he's wound up and he still wants the game. If the desire's still there, he'll come back with a great performance. If he's not really that interested, he's got a few quid now in the bank, he might be thinking, this will do me now, I'm not really bothered. So I think it's down to how Parker performs, but I don't want to write White off because White's a good fighter.
Has he improved since the Joshua fight?
I don't know because he's not done anything since the Joshua fight, has he? But that would have made him a better fighter. He would have learnt a lot from that loss. It's a close one. It's difficult to pick a winner, but the smart money for me has to be on Parker.
What have you made of this whole Joshua Wilder situation? We now know Joshua's obviously going to fight Povetkin on the 22nd of September. What have you made of that whole saga that sort of dragged on for a long time?
Joshua Povetkin?
No, about the Wilder situation with Joshua.
I don't know, it's a bit annoying, it's frustrating. I'd like the fight to happen, but I think it builds on it. If they leave it till next year, it builds a little bit more. But there's not been a drug issue, have there, with Joshua Wilder? I thought you mentioned drugs then.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
I said it's dragged on.
Oh, dragged on. Sorry, I've got Povetkin in my head because he obviously had an issue with drugs.
Yeah.
More
but whose fault is it that the fight isn't happening now?
Eddie Hearns. It's always Eddie Hearns' fault.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
No, seriously.
No, seriously, it's Eddie's fault.
Okay.
Like 100%.
Why do you think that?
Because he's a very good promoter, and he'll like that little G up there.
Yeah, because the title of the video is to be Eddie Hearns to blame for the fight not happening.
Yeah, listen, he won't take any blame for it, but he knows what he's doing, and this fight builds. You know, the longer this fight goes on, the bigger it becomes.
Are you saying this is strategically done for the fight to specifically happen?
There's always a few little things that can happen that get in the way, and you can then say, right, that's it now, we can't do it. I think the money was there, wasn't it? The 50 mil was there, and everyone's saying the money was there. What's the problem? But Eddie Hearns got his plan, his long-term plan for AJ, and in the short term, Povetkin's probably a good call. See what happens with White, and then see who else is slipped in as a mandatory. You know the game, and then eventually he'll fight. He'll fight Deontay Wilder, the guy that's dangerous, the guy that could beat him.
Are you kind of suggesting that there wasn't really any intention from...
Get myself into right.
No, I'm asking. There was no intention of that fight happening this September.
This is all my own opinion, by the way.
By the way, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Exactly. I don't know. I think if everything would have stacked up right and Joshua fancied it and Robert McCracken fancied it, the fight would have happened. But between Eddie, Josh and Rob, the fight's not happened for whatever reason. And I don't think it's a problem that the fight's not happening now because it will be bigger and better when it happens. And I think AJ wins, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Deontay Wilder could beat AJ if he catches him and hurts him and goes for the finish. But for me, AJ's going to get more experience now. He's going to become an even better fighter than what he is. And it's going to be more and more difficult the longer this lasts for Deontay Wilder to beat AJ. So it's all stacked in AJ's favour.
Where does Tyson Fury fit into all this, in your opinion?
I don't know. He had his comeback fight, and people aren't that impressed with his comeback fight. I thought he did well to go through what he's gone through. My brother's 3 years sober. He got his chip last week, and when you got issues, whatever the issues are, if you get over them and get yourself back to a position that Fury's in, I'm proud of him. I want him to do well. Can he compete at world level, top world level again? We'll find out. But at the minute, he doesn't really fit anywhere in this. He needs a performance off an half-decent name, so people then start to take him seriously. And then when that happens and people say, you know what, he's back, Fury's back, this is exciting, then he gets his chance, I think.
Groves and Callum Smith is going to happen in September. We're waiting for the venue and the date from the World Boxing Series. Who's your pick in that fight?
Groves, Callum Smith, great fight. I feel sorry for Groves. Don't feel too sorry for him. But it's a shame his shoulders playing him up because the last thing you need is a shoulder injury in boxing. So depending on how bad that shoulder is, will depend on whether or not he can beat Callum Smith. I don't think it's just the shoulder. A completely fit George Groves against a completely fit Callum Smith is a close fight that I think George Groves wins. I think he wins it on experience over world title sort of distance against quality opposition. Let's not forget he's fought me twice. Quality 2 fights from nowhere. But no, jokes aside, he also fought Badu Jack, and then he went and won the WBA title, and he's done well, hasn't he? The kid's done good since what happened to him through his world title challenges. He's kept with it. He's kept the desire. I admire the guy. I admire George Groves. I mean, we got me on camera saying that now. I'm proud of him, and I think he's doing really, really well. Well, he is doing really well. This fight against Callum Smith is really unfortunate that he's been hindered by a shoulder injury, and I hope that's not the reason the result goes whichever way it goes. But it's a 50-50 fight that I favour Groves to win purely on experience. If the fully fit Groves isn't back because of his shoulder, then he'll probably get beat because he will need to be at his best to beat Callum Smith.
What did you make of James DeGale vacating his IBF title recently?
I'm not surprised. Anything James DeGale does, I'm not surprised because I'm not sure how serious he is about the game. You know, he's vacated because he thought he was going to get beat. As far as I'm concerned, he thought the guy was too good for him, and I don't know, for whatever reason, he's probably banked a few quid. And how much does he love the sport? How big's his desire? You know, there's question marks about his lifestyle outside the ring, which isn't always the best. To me, he's a bit of a waste of talent. I think if he'd stuck with it and listened to his trainer and really stayed serious about the sport, he could have been in the mix and he could have been a threat for all the super middleweights. But I don't know. We need to see a good performance from James DeGale. We need to see him coming back. It's a shame that he's vacated his title because it's the start of a slippery slope downwards when you start vacating. Where does he go now? He's not world champ. Who's he going to fight next? I don't know. Like I said, wasted talent if he doesn't do anything now.
One more, Canelo Golovkin. Obviously, we know we'll fight each other in the rematch on the 15th of September. Your thoughts on that, Mr. Froch?
I think it's a great fight. I think it's a joke that you can fail a drugs test and then just get like a 6-month ban or whatever it is. It's not really a ban when you have a 6-month ban because you can keep yourself busy for a couple of months, then get back in camp, and then you're pretty much ready to go straight in for a big fight. So I think the whole distance, the time, the waiting that they've had between them now favours Canelo because Golovkin's getting old now. Good fight. Triple G probably does him. I know the first, what was it, a draw, and really Triple G won that, I think. I didn't see it properly. I've seen a few highlights on it. I don't like watching fights where I know the results. You know, it bores me unless it's a real humdinger. But good fight. Canelo might win because Golovkin's getting old. You know what I mean? And he's obviously juiced up, so he'll have that extra engine. All my own opinion, by the way. Well, he failed a drug test, didn't he? He had some contaminated meat. Let's not forget. So, how fit is he? How strong is he? We'll find out when he fights Golovkin. But looking forward to that one.
And Saunders Andrade, obviously Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren reached a deal for this fight. All right, last one.
Yeah, good fight. Saunders Andrade. I'm looking forward to it. I like Saunders. I think he's a character. I think he's good for the game. And I'm really looking forward to that fight. Lebrano Andrade is some fighter. Hang on. Dimitri Andrade. Yeah. I've got Lebrano. That's when I was fighting. It's a flashback to the past. Yeah, Dimitri's a good fighter. I think Billy Joe Saunders could beat him, but if he's not on his game, he could get beat himself. It's a real good one. I think Billy Joe does the job, but I'm a Billy Joe fan. I like him. Every time I look at him on his Instagram and I hear him speak, it makes me smile. He's a character, and the game needs characters. So good luck, Billy. Do the business. I think he's good enough. He's a good fighter, a good boxer, and I reckon he'll do it. If the fight happens, is it going to happen?
It is, yeah, because Eddie and Frank reached a deal last night to avoid purse bids. Fight's going to happen in October, apparently. So
brilliant. That's good.
What's your problem, mate?
Mr. Froch has got a meeting, so he needs to leave. Old days, me and Froch, back in the old days, undefeated as driver and team.
Yeah, he is the undefeated.
Really?
But the new driving champions, Freddie boy, he'll be watching this, so shout out to Freddie.
What? Immaterial, now he's not champion, it doesn't matter.
You're seeing your Wembley record being shattered every day, aren't you?
He'll always be number 2.
Always be number 1 at Wembley, wasn't he? First man.
You were the first one.
Inaugural.
To do it.
First never followed.
Josh has done it like.
Listen, I set it up for all the rest to follow.
Okay, gotta go now.
Cream it in. Good times, mate. Let's be honest. Good times.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, you set the precedent, didn't you?
Yeah, I set it. Who cares? Who cares? I'm old news now, mate. All I want to do is go to our 3 little kids. Fist pump. We blew it up.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Coogan. Sarah, Eddie.
Eddie.
Yes, Cobra.
Are you hijacking them?
Can I just say something?
Rematch.
He says 2 seconds.
Oh, wait, mate.
Be over.
What does he say?
Yeah, we're going now. We're going now.
What does he say?
He said, can I say what you said, or should we wait
Can't
for him
remember what
to
I
say
said. Was it bad or
He
good?
said that you're to blame for Wilder Joshua not happening this year.
Yeah, what else did I say at the beginning of the interview?
Right, what did you say?
About him being one of the best promoters, or the best
He
promoter.
said it's the number
I'm
one
not to
promoter
blame.
in this
I'm
one
definitely
today.
not to blame. They didn't come back to us on a contract, but I won't take offence to that comment.
Yeah, you can answer it now, though. You can answer it now.
Okay,
What
cool.
I said was, the fact that Joshua may or may not be ready. Robert McCracken's got an opinion on what he wants his boy to do, because ultimately he's his trainer. What he says really has to have an effect. And as a promoter, you've got a job to do to maximise everything.
Yes, but I will say that everybody was prepared to take the fight for the deal that we agreed with Wilder.
Yeah.
For the deal that we offered Wilder, that he accepted,
Yeah.
we were all prepared to take the fight. So I will agree with you that McCracken, as you know Rob McCracken very well, he's never in a rush to fight those kind of fights. Joshua's, you know Joshua, ready to fight him now.
Not only as a trainer, it's his job to protect his fighter as well.
But Rob, when you boxed Yusuf Mack, Rob was going to me, I don't like this fight, this is a tough fight. You smashed him to bits.
Yeah.
So with Joshua, he wants to fight anyone. He's ready to fight now. But we were prepared to take the fight if the terms were what we wanted, and we got that exactly right.
Yeah.
But they never come back to us on the contract.
So there you go. They never came back. So,
but a lot of what you say is correct. So fuck you.
cheers, Andy. See you in a bit, mate.
And not
See you,
one of
There
the
you
best
go.
promoters either.
The best.
Thank you.
See you later.